Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Starry Tarot. I don't know why. Maybe I need to push this back. Whoops, the whole thing's full. No, we're good. Okay. Yay! Hello, everybody, and welcome to Starry Tarot. My name is Sophie. I am your friendly tarot reader for this evening or afternoon, morning, wherever you may be in the world. And all of my donation information is posted in the chat. Not yet, but it will be soon. It looks like there's a lag with Nightbot. But it is also found in the information of this video as well as posted throughout the chat in the video, which I am still waiting on Nightbot to arrive. But we are using the lovely, beautiful Barbie tarot deck today, which is now out of print, and it may even be I don't want to say an illegal copy, but I don't think I got it from the original artist. I think it was published by somebody else, republished, which isn't cool. Don't steal, don't plagiarize, people. So I'm hoping that wasn't the case, but nevertheless, these cards are adorable. They are so cute. They are so expressive and beautiful. I don't know what is going on with Nightbot right now. This is so peculiar. I've never experienced this before. I guess let's try another one. Interesting. Well, that's odd. Trying to figure this out here, and I keep on getting texts from people. This is very strange. But I can't get my menu to show up. Everybody, please, I need to. Okay. Alright, so I'll just have to do this old school then. There we are. Oh my goodness. Jeez Louise, that took forever. But we do appreciate Nightbot. Thank you for coming through, Nightbot. Alright, so that has come through. I can pin this. Alright. Now I feel serene. Now I feel calm and centered. So all of my donation information can be found pinned at the top of the chat. Also throughout the body of the chat, Nightbot will be posting it. But essentially, I can answer any of your questions with the exception of medical and or legal questions. I answer a lot of romance and love questions. I answer a lot of questions regarding career, a lot of questions regarding finance, spirituality, you name it. I have likely answered it so long as it is not medical and or legal. And any of your questions, any of your queries can be answered My menu options are for a 1-question reading. It is 5 cards, and it is $7.77 if you donate via Venmo, Cashapp, or PayPal. If you use SuperChat, then it is $9.99. If you would like a 10-card reading, that is $14.14. But again, if you use SuperChat, then it is $20.20. Or if you would like an in-depth 15-card reading, which can also be expanded into either 3 questions or 2, that is $21.21. Or if you are using SuperChat, again, that will be $29.29. And yeah, we can break those down into separate questions if you would like. A full reading can be broken down into 2 5-card mini readings. A 15-card reading can be broken down into either 3 5-card readings or a 2-card, 1 10-card reading and 1 5-card reading, or just 1 15-card reading. It's up to you. But I also have some suggestions for readings for folks. I am a psychic medium. I can communicate with those who have passed on, who are no longer with us on this earthly realm. If that is something that you are interested in, please let me know before sending your donation. I need to know their name, their relation to you, their date of birth, and their date of passing. And if you can provide a photograph via email or Instagram, that is extremely helpful, but it's not necessary. I have found in my professional practice of 5 years that I can get through to about 95% of folks who have passed on. And I've gone into deep thought about the reasons why, and one reason would be reincarnation. If a soul has reincarnated, then they're on this earthly planet again, and I can no longer contact them through psychic mediumship. Or if they've sometimes if someone has very recently passed, I have found that some souls take slightly longer than others to get to that 3rd level, the Kabbalic 3rd level of heaven, in which we are able to communicate with spirits on the other side, and they are able to communicate with us on this side. And it is always very, very fascinating, and it is always truly an honor for me to not just have this gift, but to be able to read for you and to help you get in touch with your loved ones. It really means a lot to me. Oh no. I just noticed I have a... And these are one of my favorite plants. Sorry, I just realized I must have scratched against something the other day because there's a little scratch mark on my pants. Not loving that. As I mentioned earlier, I answer a lot of romance questions, and we just received our first donation tonight. Thank you so very much, Miss Wendy. How are you doing today, love? The great I am 888. Welcome. How much for a medium reading? Mediumship readings, I just posted it. I can repost it again. Mediumship readings are $30. Sorry, $35.35. But if you donate over SuperChat, it is $50.50. Thank you very much. You just finished your walk. Lovely to hear. Is the weather nice where you are? It finally stopped raining today, and I had a job that's like I live 15 minutes, a 15-minute walk away from City College, and I had a job there, and so I could have walked that 15 minutes, but I thought it was raining, so I didn't. I wish I had walked though, because it ended up being, well, actually no, I don't regret not walking, because although it wasn't raining today, it was super duper windy, and that was not fun. Not windy, but windy. It's stormy weather. You walked on your walking pad. Oh, okay, so you're indoors. Okay, okay. I was like, a walking pad. Oh, okay, walking pad. Yes, yes, yes. So it's okay. I guess the storm probably moved from the bay downwards. Sorry about that. If that's the case, I don't know. But because I don't think it's supposed to rain tomorrow either. I have to drive up to Sacramento tomorrow for a job, photo shoot actually, um, and that is a schlep. That is definitely a schlep. No rain. Hopefully it won't last too long, love. How does Samuel feel about tea? He's another engineer at work, and he's a Pisces. Okay, give me one sec here. Okay. And Samuel's a Sagittarius, right? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how does Samuel feel about tea? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how does Samuel feel about tea? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how does Samuel feel about tea? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how does Samuel feel about tea? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how does Samuel feel about tea? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how does Samuel feel about tea? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how does Samuel feel towards tea? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how does Samuel feel about tea? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how does Samuel feel towards tea? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how does Samuel feel towards tea? And he is another engineer there, you say. Okay. We have 10 of Wands, 8 of Cups, Page of Swords, 4 of Wands, and 9 of Cups reversed. Okay. Have they just met? Because we've got this Page of Swords right here in the center. He's definitely intrigued by him. I feel like he wants to know more about him, know more of who he is. There is definitely some interest in getting to know who I'm assuming he's working with, probably on a particular project. But from what he has observed so far, he kind of feels like with this Ten of Wands that he Samuel might be the one doing most of the work here. No, they've been on the same team for at least a year. He has to pass on his work to him, but I heard they've got some tension. Gotcha. He has to pass on his work to him. Ten of Wands. Someone's taking on like all of the burden here, whether it's Samuel or T. But what you said just there, he has to pass on the work to him. That's definitely passing the literal baton, because some of the decks refer to the wands as baton, and wand is baton in French. Literally, like he's being like handed the baton, like Or he's sorry, I'm confused. Is it Samuel that it has to pass his work on to him? Because I also see this Eight of Cups here, which is walking away from something, moving away from something or someone. We have both the Eight of Cups and we have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups in its reversed form. Nine of Cups reversed being feelings of discontent, lack of satisfaction. Samuel has a lot of work he has to pass on to T. Okay. So he's literally like dumping that load onto T with this Ten of Wands. And I'm not saying that Samuel is just going to walk away literally or leave the job or like, you know, just toss us under all responsibilities. But I kind of get the sense that this is, with this Eight of Cups, that this is like a burden lifted off of his shoulder. But it does come at a price, at a cost, with this Nine of Cups reversed. I'm friends with T, so I try to stay neutral when there's drama. Gotcha. And I think you mentioned that they've been working together for, or you did say that they've been working together for a year. And Samuel doesn't think T is as competent. Okay. That's that Nine of Cups reversed. Did they have fond feelings towards one another? Because we do have this Four of Wands here, which is a signifier of harmony, a harmonious union. It could be he's feeling relieved in some. No, but you just said that he feels like he can't. He's not as apt as he is. But at the same time, there's obviously a reason why he has to pass on his work to T. I feel like, I mean, am I wrong there? I don't think it's a punitive thing. I mean, possibly, but it just sounds like Samuel's just not on the ball. T is really sweet towards him, but Samuel has been mean to him before. Gotcha. Okay. That's not nice. Yeah, so he's not pleased with this Nine of Cups reversed. He doesn't want any disharmony between the two of them. There's too much work for one person to do, so they had to delegate work to other people. Okay. It's just the way the ball rolls. That's this Ten of Wands, having to delegate. But I think Samuel feels like he needs to take on all of the wands. Because if this was reversed, I'd be like, okay, well, this is about sharing and delegating responsibilities and work, shouldering burdens like with one another. But when it's in its upright position, it's just one person shouldering all of the work, all of the burdens, all the difficulties. And oddly, I mean, I don't want to say oddly enough, because this kind of, I think, goes in tune with Samuel's like general energy. But this is not the way that he would ideally want things. Like you said, he feels like he's more competent than T. He doesn't want to rock the boat with this Four of Wands. I think he does have at least a minor understanding of the fact that he is but one man. He's possessive of his work. It's his pride. Yeah. So maybe he's not. I take back what I just said there. He may not be aware of the fact that he is but one man, and there's just too much work, and it needs to be, outsourced. Not outsourced, but like within the company. I'm thinking of the Three of Pentacles right now. Collaborative working environments. And working collaboratively and needing all of those elements, all those people in order to get something done. And yeah, if somebody has a sense of superiority, that is going to cause some discontent, some lack of satisfaction, with this Nine of Cups reversed. And I also think that he feels like this is a bad idea because it will result in lesser. What? Sorry, my brain is really foggy today when it comes to coming up with words. And now I've just had a total brain spasm. What was I just saying there, love? So his possessiveness of his work. Oh yeah, this Eight of Cups here. He feels like, I think he feels like this is possibly going to jeopardize or compromise the quality of the end result of this project. Yeah, I see this. I see this stinging his pride. But he is keeping his head above the clouds. It's not like super upsetting him. It's not putting him in a really, really low place or anything. But he is miffed. He is miffed. He would rather it not be this way. But I mean, you told me he tells you that he answers work emails at like 3 in the morning. Like he just keeps his phone on. He'll like not sleep through work. So if he's sacrificing sleep, he's likely sacrificing more than just sleep for work. And in that, trying to be like Robot Man, like trying to be able to tackle like, multiple people's workloads in just one person. But even if his quality of work is better, by whose standards I don't know, but even if that is the case, it still wouldn't be advantageous for him to be taking on all this work because burnout is very real. He is a human, he's not a robot. Yeah, I heard T made an error and Samuel went off on him. That's effed up. That's really messed up. And that's arrogance. That is so fucking, pardon my French, that is so arrogant. The guy is just trying to do his best, T. And I have no doubt in my mind that he wants to do his best. And he doesn't want to screw up. And working collaboratively, the nice thing about working in a team and working collaboratively is that if one person doesn't know how to execute something correctly, or if somebody makes an error, there's somebody else who's got your back to either show you how to do something correctly and or pick up on that error and help you move forward. You know what I mean? And it felt awkward today when I was telling Samuel that I made a candle for T. T is the hardest worker, stays every night. That's so sweet of you that you made a candle for him, Wendy. I didn't know you made candles. How do you make candles? Because I made a candle when I was younger out of little bits of crayon. Like when you'd used all the crayon, you just had the little bit left. We saved them all one summer and melted them all together, and it was really cool. It was a little art project thing. Yeah, I made a candle for him to thank him for helping me. That is so sweet, love. That is so sweet, Wendy. Yeah, I get good. We didn't read about T. Well, we read, how Samuel feels about T. So I didn't read into T's energies, but just I'm already feeling good energies from T. Like, I know he wants to do his best job. He doesn't want to, he doesn't want to fail anybody, least of all himself. I have to buy wax, fragrance oil, and make them that way. Oh, that's so cool. And you have a mold, I guess, that you put them in? I want to make a candle. Oh yeah. That is so cool. Does it come in like a set? Or do you, or do they sell like glass jar? I guess they probably sell this like in the same set, like at Michael's or whatever, or online for that matter. such an old lady. Hey Kay, how are you doing? Life is good. Life is good. How are you? That is so sweet of you, Wendy. Now I want to learn to make a candle. After I told Samuel about the candle, he stopped responding. I was wondering if he just didn't want to hear about tea, since there's tension between them. Possibly. Or maybe, I was thinking maybe he was jealous. Like, why does he get a candle and I don't? You know? That was my first thought, but I also think that's part of it too, is that there is that tension between the two of them. But hey, I mean, I guess at least you and Samuel are communicating, and he's not just like asking you to say the word water, which is how I'm assuming he says it. You're good. Life is good. That is what we love to hear. He's been really chatty lately. Huh, interesting. I mean, that's good. You guys can work more effectively together now. I just wonder what spurred this, you know. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe he's just in a good mood. But yeah, not communicating with you when you guys are working on a project. No, bueno. No. So that's good that you guys are indeed talking. Oh, wow. Okay, we received 2 donations. You guys gotta let me know, y'all. Thank you so much. We received one from someone whose username I don't know. And we received another from Kay. Thank you so much, Kay. Let's go ahead and get this going here. If you made a donation for a mediumship reading, please let me know what your username is. You did. Thank you very much, Kay, for your donation. I'm just gonna give it. I'm going to call out that person for the next 3 minutes. I know that sounds like a long time, but they donated a while ago, and never said what their name was. So if you made a donation for a mediumship reading, please let me know. Please come to the chat. It is your turn. Thank you very much. Whoever made a donation for a mediumship reading, please come to the chat. It is your turn. Thank you. If you made a donation for a mediumship reading about 15 minutes ago, please come to the chat. If you are not here, we will move you. We will read for Kay, and you will be next in the queue. But if whoever made a donation, if you made a donation for a mediumship reading, please come to the chat. It is your turn. It was you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me go ahead and start this here. Okay, love. Thank you so much for your donation. Sorry, one moment. There we go. All right, love. So, sorry, I was just reading your note. So you would like to get into contact with Sean, who passed in December. Okay, love. Do you know what Sean's date of birth is, and do you know when the day he passed in December? Date of birth was the 4th of May, 1993. Date of passing was 1st of December of last year. Okay, love. I will be right back. I need to check and see if he is available to communicate with me. And if he is not, I will refund your donation for you, love. Thank you very much. I'm hoping that we can get through. We usually can, but I just want to be sure. One moment. Okay, Sarah. So I can tell that he passed recently. The good news though is that he is available to communicate. It took a little while to get through, but he is indeed available to communicate. So that is the good news there. Um, so everybody who is in the chat, if you are watching, and this goes for every reading that I do, but especially for mediumship readings, um, please, if you have any comments or questions or anything that you need to say, or especially if it's not related to the reading, or even if it's related to the reading, please wait until the reading is over. Thank you very, very much. And of course, always, always, always be respectful and kind, as you guys always are. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages you have for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages that you have for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages you have for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages you have for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages you have for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages you have for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages you have for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages you have for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages you have for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages you have for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages you have for Sarah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, Sean, please come through with any and all messages you have for Sarah. Thank you. Thank you so much for communicating with us today. Alright, we have 8 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, King of Swords, Knight of Swords, Judgment reversed, Justice, the High Priestess reversed, the Magician reversed, 6 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, Death, Page of Pentacles reversed, 10 of Swords, 7 of Cups reversed, and 4 of Swords reversed. Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. And okay, just a small side note before we begin. I've been reading tarot for, gosh, like 25 years now, 30 years. No, 25. I've been reading it professionally for the past 5 years, as of 2 weeks ago. And I've been giving professional mediumships in that time as well, throughout that time, those 5 years. And I don't believe I have ever seen the actual death card come up before in a mediumship reading, and I've done a lot of them. So let's see what we have to unpack here. We have this Eight of Pentacles, Justice, and Death card. We'll start with unpacking this. Eight of Pentacles, Justice, and Death. Did the two of you, did you work with one another by any chance? There's something here about work with this Eight of Pentacles. It could be a message that he has for you regarding your work. And I don't know what you do for a living. But with this Eight of Pentacles, Justice, and Death, this is telling me that there was something, or there is something currently in your life, and the two of you may have discussed this. And I do feel like it's work related, even if it's not like your job. I met him at his workplace. Oh, you met him at his workplace. Okay. So that's because I kept on seeing things about work here. So you met him at his workplace. Okay, I see. Now I see that, and that's where he first saw you. Okay. Things started to fall into place. I don't know when you met him, but when he met you, he immediately felt a sense of balance, a sense of restored equilibrium within himself. And this is just random. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Was he British by any chance, or did he have British ancestry? Because I keep on like hearing this British accent. He didn't have a British accent though, did he? Or was he British? I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. That's just an aside there. But then we have it with this Death card, which of course, I have to look at all of the cards and listen when I'm doing my mediumships. It's not like reading a regular question. And this Death card is not to be taken literally, even though we are doing a mediumship reading, and Sean is not with us on this plane any longer. What I'm hearing him say and what I'm seeing here is that when you walked into his workplace the first time he met you, you brought about a strong sense of peace. He's Australian, so possibly British ancestry. Okay. Okay, interesting. And I don't know when you guys first met. I feel like it was like maybe a year or so ago. It transformed him. Meeting you transformed him. He dealt with, I don't know if he ever shared this with you, but he dealt with a lot of anxiety, and he keeps on saying that you brought him a tremendous amount of peace, a strong sense of peace and clarity. And when he would see you and when he would speak to you, it was like he was able to slow down and like recalibrate his thoughts, and just felt like a really, oh my god, that's crazy. I was just going to say, I don't see the Six of Cups here, but what I'm sensing and feeling is the Six of Cups. It's literally this card, girl. Six of Cups. This is literally the card. You gave him a sense of warmth and peace that can often be equated to how we feel during childhood, given we have a good childhood and not a traumatic childhood. But the small pleasures of childhood, the peace, the tranquility. He felt very comfortable with you, and very at ease. And in general, he often was not at ease all the time, not at ease all the time, not but he did deal with some anxiety, and it was often hard for him to, and I'm also seeing this here with this Knight of Swords, it was often hard for him to, kind of sounds like ADD, might have had ADD or ADHD, but kind of hard for him to sift through his thoughts and like comb through them essentially and detangle them. And when he would converse with you, it was really easy for him to get to the bottom of things in conversations with you, and then even reflecting, when the two of you would part, he would reflect, oh yeah, and then she mentioned that one thing, and you brought him a lot of self understanding and self reflection with this High Priestess reversed. And with this Page of Pentacles reversed, as I mentioned earlier, he felt that it was difficult for him to find clarity in his thoughts, in his stream of consciousness. It was something that he felt he didn't have the autonomy or the ability to acquire. But it was like his brain shifted when he met you in a really wonderful way. And I'm seeing all these swords too. Swords being the realm of the mind. We have this King of Swords, this Knight of Swords. I'm talking about his thoughts. Here we go. This King of Swords. King of Swords is the realm of the mind, the delegator of the mind. His logic and his mind is very, very, very balanced. He has a very balanced sense of right and wrong. He has a very balanced sense of who he is, what his identity is. And he also is thanking you for helping him realize, and I don't think you might not have said things directly to him like, oh, you can conquer this, or you can fight this, you can win this, but you certainly made him feel that way with the Magician reversed, right next to the High Priestess reversed. Wow. He oftentimes felt like things were very, very difficult for him to manage on his own. But when he met you, it gave him this resurgence of clarity, of who he was, of how he operated, how he was able to live this life. He was a very young man too. I think he mentioned he passed in 93. Or he was born in 93. So 7 years younger than me. So he was 33, 34. So yeah, he was a very young man, who was still figuring himself out. And sadly, this Ten of Swords is literal. This Death card is not literal, but this Ten of Swords is. He really, and this is partly why it was difficult for me to get through to him at first, right before we started your reading, when I checked with my spirit guides and with my candle and my crystal. It took a little while for him to come through. I was almost wondering if he was going to come through, but then I heard that a guy speaking, with what I thought was a British accent, but is an Australian accent. But he's really having a very difficult time accepting his passing. There are some spirits who don't talk about that, there are some spirits who feel ambivalent, like not ambivalent, but like this was my time. It was meant to be. Now I see how it was all laid out, and I signed up. You know, when I signed my soul's contract, I was supposed to leave at this time. And then some souls are feel, I don't want to say bitter, but I guess that's, yeah, kind of bitter, rather bitter about the fact that they're no longer on this earthly plane. It wasn't his time to go. He feels that it was not his time to go, and that things were cut short, and so many things were cut short in his life, including his connection with you. I definitely think that it would have lasted a long time, you and him, even if it was just friendship. I think that you guys would have known and stayed connected for a very long time. You guys did have a true, meaningful connection. You altered his life. Arguably, I guess we could say most people that we meet in our lives alter our lives in some way, but you altered his life in a major way, is what he's saying. We have this King of Swords, and we have this Knight of Swords right next to it. Yeah, you really brought him, he's saying you really, really brought him so much mental clarity and joy. He always looks forward to talking to you, to seeing you, and Six of Swords. Yeah, he didn't want to leave. Yeah, okay, he's nodding like emphatically right now. He really feels like he should still be here. He's got a lot of there's like a lot of angry energy that I'm getting from him. Not towards you, love. Nay. Just towards his fate, essentially. And I understand that. I mean, I can't empathize with that because I've never been there. Well, in a past life, I suppose, but I can understand where he's coming from 100%. He was too young. This was not something that this was not his death was not fated. Some people's deaths are fated. Like, for one example, I gave a mediumship reading to a woman once, and I got right through to her husband who had passed just the week before. And I told her it might be difficult to communicate with him, and it might actually take us like maybe 6 months to get in touch with him, but I'll check. So I checked, and he immediately came through. And even though he missed his family and loved them so very much, he kept on saying that he was fated to die in that way, and that he was a martyr. He kept on repeating that to me, and I told my client, and she was like, yeah, he saved our sons last week in the river while they were out playing. He saved their lives. And he was telling me that when he signed his soul's contract when he was born, that was what he signed up to do, to have these children and save their lives, to be their hero. And he was very much at peace with his passing. Now, this situation, Sean is not at peace. He will be at peace, but he's still working through it. He's working through things. Yeah, judgment reverse. He really feels like it was not his judgment day. This was not his judgment day. It wasn't his time to go. There was more that he wanted to continue with on this planet, with his Three of Pentacles. And you are one of those people. There are more things that he wanted to do. There were relationships that he wanted to continue. friendships, family, coworkers. Yeah, and he's really just, you brought him to a place of peace. I can't stress that enough. He can't stress that enough. Um, and it's ironic that we say rest in peace, because not everyone is at peace once they've passed. Um, but he will be. He's acknowledging, because he has spirit guides. The way that spirits have explained this to me is that they have guides once they pass on. Basically, our spirit guides join us when we pass on and help us learn how to communicate with the other side, help us process the fact that we've passed, help us navigate not being in a human body. So he's got his spirit guides. They've got his back, and they're kind of like his therapists right now. Like, they keep on letting him know that he will be at peace. He will process this. But right now, he's having a very difficult time accepting the fact that he's passed. And he really, really valued you, and also, and he's definitely nodding in agreement for sure. He very much valued you, and the fact that he just passed recently and was having such a difficult time communicating with me at first, that spirits don't communicate just for anyone. Like, that's why I asked what people's relation was to the person who I'm asking about. Like, I've had people request mediumships for, like, celebrities that they never knew. I can't do that because a celebrity is not likely going to come through for someone who they've never met before. Alternatively, I've had spirits not come through for people, and I didn't tell people this, but because they didn't want to talk to them. And it takes a lot of energy for spirits to communicate with the other side. So if he is already in the beginner stages of communicating with the living, and and came through for you, that speaks volumes as to how much he valued you, and what an important placement you had in his life. So that is what I am seeing for you, Sarah, sweet Sarah. Thank you so much, love. I really, really appreciate you, and thank you, Sean, for coming through for Sarah. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Um, yes, thank you so much. Thank you so very much, Sarah. Much love and light to you. Kay, thank you for your donation, my friend. And we also just received another donation from Wendy. Thank you so much, Wendy. Let me go ahead and add you here. Thank you very much, Wendy, and thank you for waiting. Thank you. I noticed you didn't post it in the chat. That's really sweet of you. Thank you, love. I appreciate that. Kay, Versatile Finish, please come to the chat. It is your turn, my friend. Thank you. Hey, Kay. Good to see you. Did you want a 15-card reading today? You got it. And did you have a specific question, or did you just want a general spirit reading? All right, you got it, my friend. And we just received another donation. Thank you so much to Mr. Maurice Evans Jones. Thank you very much, my friend. Okay, let's get right on into this. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages that he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages that he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Kay with any and all messages he needs to hear at this time. Thank you. All right, Kay. We have King of Wands. That's you. King of Cups. Page of Swords. Queen of Pentacles reversed. The Tower reversed. Two of Swords reversed. Seven of Wands. Ace of Swords. Queen of Cups. Temperance reversed. Seven of Swords reversed. The Lovers reversed. The Hierophant. The Moon reversed. And Knight of Cups reversed. Alright, Kay, let's see. Starting with the first card, we've got you, this King of Wands, Two of Swords reversed, and Seven of Swords reversed. So, I don't need to repeat it again, but I will. King of Wands is you. And then we have these two reversed swords cards here. This Two of Swords reversed is usually a sign of indecision, indecisiveness, confusion, but it's also a card when it's in its reversed form, or reversed position. In its upright position, the traditional artwork is someone who is blindfolded with two swords. So it's often indicative of not knowing the truth. When it's in its reversed form, it can often indicate that you have that the truth, that certain truths are being revealed. And I don't normally opt with that meaning of truths being revealed when I see the Two of Swords reversed, but I do when the Seven of Swords reversed is right underneath it. The Seven of Swords reversed is, yeah, lies, either lies being exposed, game playing coming to an end, truths being revealed, clarity, gaining some clarity on things that were previously concealed from you. And then we have this King of Cups, who I'm also assigning to your energy K. You are balanced in energy, you are balanced in emotions. I love the King of Cups. King of Cups is by far my favorite court card, next to the Page of Swords, by the way. But the King of Cups is my favorite out of all of the court cards. You've probably heard me say this again, I'm like a broken record, but the King of Cups, his throne is on the damn ocean, but he always stays afloat, so long as this is upright. He has that divine wisdom of knowing that life is a compilation of ups and downs, highs and lows, light and dark, yin and yang, and that you can get through anything at the end of the day. You can get through the hard times, and you can certainly master the good times, and even harness the sorry, one moment. Can even give you the ability to harness the power of, oh, it's high tide today. Well, I'm gonna use a little bit of magic here, a little, this, that, and the other. Get my umbrella, do this, and it's the wisdom of knowing that you know how to navigate the tides, whether they're high or low, the metaphorical tides, so to speak. And then we have the Seven of Wands and the Lovers reversed. Seven of Wands is definitely defensive energy. It could be defending a stance that you feel very strongly towards. It could be defending yourself, setting boundaries for yourself and for others in terms of how to treat you and how to how to best treat you. It's also a card of fighting off competition, defending one's position, defending where you stand. But it's also a card that is a signal that it's time to take, not just that it's time to take action, but that it's specifically time to take like action that's like values aligned, like really strong action that aligns with your values and is possibly something you have been thinking about or meditating on, ruminating on, I should say, for a little while. And then we have this Lovers reversed right underneath here, which is usually a symbol, usually signifies some kind of imbalance. But we have you remaining very balanced up here with this King of Cups. But the Lovers reverse is usually symbolic of some type of imbalance, some type of disharmony, conflicts with someone, detachment possibly from someone. And when I see that Seven of Wands right above that, Seven of Wands to me is speaking more of setting boundaries for others. And the thing about boundaries is sometimes they're not just hard to set or difficult to set. Sometimes the hardest part about setting boundaries is maintaining them. I think that's actually far more difficult than setting boundaries, is maintaining them. Then we have my second favorite court card here. We have this Page of Swords. correct me if I'm wrong, but I get good. I'm getting good energy from you, okay? And I'm seeing it here, especially with this King of Cups that I love. You know, I love well balanced energy. Your head is above the clouds right now with this Page of Swords. Even if things aren't totally perfect and the way that you would ideally like to see them in your life right now, you're staying very optimistic, as you should, and working with what you have, the resources that you have, and and doing a very good job of it. Is what Spirit is saying. Spirit is saying with this Ace of Swords as the crux card right here in the center, Page of Swords, Ace of Swords, like emotionally you are balanced, energetically you are balanced, mentally you are balanced. We'll talk about Pentacles in a moment here, but I don't know if you're noticing this, but we have the King of Wands, the King of Cups, the Page of Swords, and then when it comes to the Pentacles, we have the Queen reversed. I'll get to that in a moment. But you are balanced of emotions, of energy, and most certainly balanced within your mind. Your thoughts are very clear. Your focus is very sharp. Your communication skills are very good. Not like mine today. not having the best time finding words today for some reason. A little brain scrambly. But this Ace of Swords is also a signifier of a new beginning, a new era, essentially, for you. Essentially discovering a part of yourself that you may not have known that you had. Settling further into who you are as a man and as a young man specifically, and having a stronger sense of development when it comes to your sense of self-identity. And we talked with this Lover's Reverse card. When we talked about this Seven of Wands, talking about taking values-aligned action, specifically taking a very strong, actionable step forward towards something that is aligned very closely with your values. And I'm seeing that here as well with this Hierophant right here. Discovery. And furthermore, discovery. I was mentioning how and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you're learning more about yourself. You've come to a deeper understanding of who you are as a man, your identity in general. And normally I giggle at these cards because they're just so cute and so not relevant to the traditional artwork of the tarot cards. As you know, the Hierophant does not look like this. However, I think that they chose a good Barbie picture for this because she's standing outside of the public library with some books in her hand. She's gaining knowledge. I know, Barbie. Barbie can be smart. She is smart, as we saw in the movie. She is gaining knowledge. You are gaining knowledge. You are not Barbie, and you're not Ken either. You are Kay. You are Kay, and you are this. You have come to a closer understanding of who you are, and you will likely look back at this point in your life and be like, oh, that was I'd say I started acting this way or understanding this when I was around that age. Like, I can say that, like, I feel like my third eye reopened when I was 27. I feel like my prefrontal cortex fully developed when I was 22. Like, there's certain milestones and markers in our lives, and I feel like this is one for you. And it may not be a particular instance that we're referring to here, but it's more the acquisition of internal knowledge of who you are. And even when I was younger, I used to remark to friends of mine. I remember when I was a freshman in college, so I was 18 or 19. I remember this guy who I didn't like, who was in my friends group, was like, no, I said randomly, I was like, I don't know. I don't even feel like I really like know who I am sometimes, which I think is a very self-aware thing for an 18-year-old to say. I didn't know who I was completely. And his smart ass comes back and goes, I know who the F I am. I'm like, really, dude? You really know? I didn't say that, but like, you really know who you are completely at the age of 18? All right, man, come back to me in 10, 20 years. But um, yeah, you are learning more and more about yourself, and this is a really important time for that. Now we had the wands, the cups, the swords. Here we come to the pentacles, this Queen of Pentacles reverse. This is not to say that you are short on material resources or that you don't have enough material resources. Nay, the Queen of Pentacles reversed is actually indicative of burnout. It is almost always indicative of some type of burnout or a warning that you might be on the cusp of burning yourself out if you don't take a step back just a little bit. Have a just like one brief Four of Swords moment where you can step back and have a little time for yourself. Um, I have every reason to believe that you've been working really, 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 really hard. Um, and I also have every reason to believe that in general you work very, very hard. And Spirit is saying, of course, that's great. Don't ever stop. Um, you know, that being a hard worker is a wonderful attribute to have. But hard workers, the best hard workers, are also um, acutely aware of what is required of them to do all of the work that they need to do in the way that it needs to be done. You know, not sacrificing sleep or food. Just taking a breather for yourself if you can. And interestingly, we have this Queen of Cups right underneath. We have both the King and the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups and the Moon reversed. How are things going with the girl that you like? I'm starting to wonder if this is a warning about burnout in actual work with this Queen of Pentacles reversed, or if it's a warning against burnout in terms of patience. Because, yeah, the. So, okay, so with this Queen of Cups and the Moon reversed, I do feel like she's still a part of your life. I don't feel, I mean, I know she works at the gym that you go to. I don't feel like you've stopped going to that gym. I don't feel like there's like a reason that you would have need to have switched gyms. But I do feel like you are lacking some serious clarity when it comes to her. I'm assigning her to this Queen of Cups. I feel like this is her energy here. Um, and then right underneath it, we have this Moon reversed card. The Moon is one of the, I would say it's the only card in the deck of 78 that can be read exactly the same, upright or reversed. In fact, when it's reversed, I'd say that its meaning is even stronger. Um, you you don't have clarity where clarity is needed. You're not there. You're still not quite sure entirely where you stand with her. You're still not quite entirely sure where she stands with you. Um, but you still have a cup of affection for her. You still are putting in the effort um, and energy in trying to facilitate a connection, a stronger connection with her. But it may feel like it's kind of dragging its feet, or maybe it's not. You can let me know. But I'm seeing these next three cards. These last three cards here is telling me that I do kind of get the sense that while you're not intending on walking away, your patience is kind of being. I feel like your patience has been. You've had very, very like your patience has not been tried here. I don't think you've been feeling impatient per se, but I think you at, like at this point you're starting to wonder am I being too patient here, or should I just let things flow as they flow? I think you mentioned you don't want to push her. You don't want to push. You don't want to feel. You don't want to make her feel like you're chasing her or anything like that. I understand that. But we also have the Seven of Wands over here. Spirit was saying that there's some action, value aligned action that would be in your best interest to um, engage in. And when I see this Tower reversed, Temperance reversed, and Knight of Cups reversed, that's leading me to believe that yeah, you're starting to feel impatient. Things have not. She still hasn't metaphorically. I mean, she has come into your life, but she had a relationship hasn't started. Momentum is good. It sounds like you guys went on a date. I know, like last week. I'm hoping that went well, and I'm hoping there's another one to come. My patience is sorry. My patience is starting to feel like a virtue. That's a really, really cohesive and elegant way of putting that. Yeah, it's starting to feel more like a virtue. And patience is a virtue. It is absolutely a virtue all the time. But the fact that it's starting to feel like a virtue is telling me that yeah, your patience is being tested here with this Temperance reverse. And she's literally got test tubes here. Oh my gosh, that's funny. But yeah, this Temperance reversed, it's like you're putting in and you're not seeing the results. You're putting in effort, you're not seeing a return. Or maybe you'll see a small return, but it's not it's not equal to the amount of energy and time that and efforts that you're putting into this. And then we have this Knight of Cups is reversed here right at the bottom. As I said earlier, I have every reason to believe that you very much still have a cup of affection for this young lady. And I know that you would like her to be your lady, or at least give it a try, see how it works. And you still have a cup of affection for her, but yeah, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're starting to wonder, like, do I need to, do I need to make like a more louder entrance, so to speak, or should I just remain patient? And it looks like Spirit is suggesting the latter, to not just remain patient, but to take some action that would be definitive, quite definitive, like a make or break move. Like either she'll say yes or she'll say no type thing. Just getting to clarity when it comes to your Queen of Cups, or who you want to be your Queen of Cups. Getting to that that truth there of where she stands, which you absolutely deserve. So that is what I am seeing for you, Kay. Thank you so much for your donation. I really, really appreciate you, and I hope I brought you some clarity. because we had, yeah, that moon reverse card, 2 of Swords reversed, 7 of Swords reversed. That is none of your business, but I sure did. All right. Again, thank you so very much, Kay. I really appreciate you, and I hope that brought you the clarity that you need, love. Thank you again. And if I should do it over text or in person, if you should do, what do you mean? And if I should do it in text or in person, are you asking me? Like the definitive action? Because I don't know what that definitive action is. Like whether you want to ask her, would you be my girlfriend, or like, or if you want to ask her, you know, do you have romantic feelings for me? If you want to be that direct, but those are definitely things to think about and consider. You know what it is you specifically want to say to her, how you want to go about this, and how to go about this in the most beneficial way. And what's the word I'm looking for? The most beneficial way, and effective, I think, is a better term. Effective and beneficial. Thank you again. Thank you again. Okay. Yeah, I'm just a little confused on how to approach the next step, but I'm just rambling. Sorry. No, don't be sorry. You're all good. You're all good. Yeah, navigating that next step. I hear you. Yeah, whether it's like saying something to her or asking her something. Yeah, it's definitely something to ponder for sure. And you're very, very welcome. You are so welcome. Miss Wendy. Wendy, thank you for your donation. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. Not sure how to ask this. Why did Samuel suddenly change his behavior and is friendly now? He was avoiding me at all costs before. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Like, this kind of came out of nowhere, huh? Yeah, absolutely we can ask that. Absolutely. All right, dear. Yeah, low key. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Samuel. Sorry. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Samuel suddenly change his behavior towards Wendy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Samuel suddenly change his behavior toward Wendy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Samuel suddenly change his behavior towards Wendy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why did Samuel suddenly change his behavior towards Wendy? Messengers and spirit guides. Why did Samuel suddenly change his behavior towards Wendy? Messengers and spirit guides. Why did Samuel suddenly change his behavior toward Wendy? Messengers and spirit guides. Why did Samuel suddenly change his behavior toward Wendy? Thanks, masters and spirit guides. Why did Samuel suddenly change his behavior toward Wendy? Thanks, masters and spirit guides. Why did Samuel suddenly change his behavior toward Wendy? Thanks, masters and spirit guides. Why did Samuel suddenly change his behavior toward Wendy? Alright, we have Page of Swords reversed, King of Wands, Five of Cups reversed, Three of Pentacles, and Six of Wands. Okay. Oddly enough, girl, this actually is not super sus. His behavior, I thought, was sus at first, but it looks like his reasons for suddenly switching up are quite good. I'm a little confused about this Page of Swords reverse, so I'm gonna save her for the end. But I'm gonna start with Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is collaborative working together collaboratively in an effective way. I hope he understands that you are a very integral part of this project. And I'm sure he does. I hope he does. And that if he's not communicating with you, that is likely going to not only reflect poorly upon him, but compromise the project itself. And he wants a victory. He wants a win here. He wants this project to go really, really well. Does it also speak to his affections for you and possibly some hope that he's got? Possibly. Although the Page of Swords reversed is often quite pessimistic. That's why I'm so confused about this. But Five of Cups reversed is regret, guilt, trying to rectify something that one feels guilty or regretful about. I'd say in his world, it's likely regret, because he wanted something, someone, wanted something to happen with that someone, and it didn't. He lost his chance, and it's something that he has regrets over, I would say, every day. And I think he also was possibly starting to become aware of how badly this reflects upon him. Like when he was like during the meeting the other day, when he was like in and out and asking you to say the word water and then just like left, like it's not a good look. And this King of Wands, I feel like it's him trying to take more control over his life in general, the project in general for sure, and his desire for you is still very much there. Let's be real. All these wands, my goodness, the King of Wands still has his wand in his hand for you. And I think that's possibly what this Page of Swords reverse is alluding to, that while he knows that like changing his attitude with you and communicating better with you will likely result in a better project ending result, would likely result in a better result. He's optimistic about that, but I think the pessimism is his insecurity when it comes to matters of that type. When it comes to matters of the heart, he is very insecure and doesn't know how to navigate that world. So I feel like he had a long like meditation session, thought to himself for a while, and was like, I'm being a moron in two ways by not talking to her or being dismissive. It's not going to win Wendy back. A, and B, this is not a good look for me at my job. Yeah, I wonder if he felt any regret for how he acted. He's been collaborative without me having to reach out. Well, five of cups up right is actually, it was my card for yesterday. So I always read about my card every day because we're always continually learning, even though we know the cards. But the Five of Cups reversed, yeah, Five of Cups is regret, is guilt, is remorse. And when it's reversed, it's taking some kind of action or changing or altering some kind of behavior in order to try and absolve some of that regret and guilt. And I'm not saying that he's just doing this for purely selfish reasons. To absolve himself of guilt. I think he would ideally like to see a victory, not just with this project, but with you. That Six of Wands there at the end, V for victory. I think there's two motives behind this. I think it's and they're quite logical. Like, this is not me acting this way towards her is not a good look towards the team, to the company in general, to the project that we're working on, and it's certainly not going to win her back, or not back, but it's not going to win her over, and I already screwed that up. No. Oh, no. He's not trying to harm you, love. No way. No. And that's what I was looking out for that too, love. I was looking out for that. And I would tell you if I'd warn you immediately if I saw anything. No, I actually, that reading quite surprised me. His intentions are good. They might be self-serving, but they're good. And they might not even be that self-serving. They could be, but they're not to harm you at all. No. So yeah, that is a surprising. That was a surprising reading there. Yeah, nothing untoward towards you. In fact, quite the opposite. He wants, he knows your value in the job sense, in your work, not just as a woman, but he knows your value as a worker on this project. And if you're not communicating with an integral part of the team, it's just not going to result in that victory. You're very welcome, girl. You are very, very welcome. Much, much love and light to you. Mr. Maurice Evans-Jones, thank you so much for your donation, my friend. Mr. Maurice Evans-Jones. Were you interested in multiple questions, or did you want a 15-card reading? Hi, there he is. All right. Do the cards see me passing the test for electronic technician position in March? Will I be happy with the score? Yeah, we can check. We can absolutely check. Sorry, just one moment. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for electronic technician? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Maurice pass the test for the electronic technician position in March? Thank you. All right, Maurice. Let us see here. We have Seven of Cups reversed, the Magician reversed, Page of Swords reversed, Six of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, Five of Cups reversed, the Star reversed, Two of Swords reversed, Three of Swords reversed, Three of Wands, Nine of Cups, Page of Wands reversed, Eight of Wands, King of Swords reversed, and the Chariot. Okay. Have you started studying for the test already, Maurice? Because that's a big, big factor here. Fate is not a factor when it comes to testing. Fate can sometimes be a factor when it comes to job acquisition. Sometimes people are fated to get jobs because of nepotism or some other reason. That's just one example. But in terms of tests and job acquisition from a test, it's 100% entirely up to you. And with this, starting with this Seven of Cups reversed here, okay. Distractions, confusion, diversion. Because the Seven of Cups is all about choices, making choices. I did not know that it had to do with distraction and confusion. Um, but you have a clear vision as to what you want to do here. You're taking the test to get this opportunity. Um, so that part is clear. The part that isn't clear, I'd say, at least at this point, I passed the test using the same book, but I never studied the part of the electronic technician part. Now I did. Okay. Um, okay, so this is kind of new territory for you. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely something you're gonna have to bone up on, like starting now. Like I almost like I don't even want to say almost treat studying like you're getting paid to do it, or treat it like a job, but honestly treat studying as if you're getting paid to do it, as if it's a job that you need to show up for every single day for a certain number of hours. Um, Maintaining focus is crucial here. Um, and acquisition of knowledge is paramount to you getting passing this test and getting this position. Um, and Spirit's saying, yeah, this is not fated. There's nothing about this that is fated. It's all about free will here, Maurice. And this Five of Cups reversed. They're saying that if you don't study as as if it's your job, like with a strict, I don't mean like 8 hours a day 5 days a week, but a strict disciplined regimen of like 2 hours a day between this time, like block out times of days to like really like hunker down, like have your cup of coffee there and just like hunker down and study and bone up, because you won't like, there's a possibility of feeling regret. There's a possibility that you might feel like you missed out on a chance, but you also have the opportunity now to prevent that feeling of regret or a missed opportunity, which would be not passing the test. And so long as you do that, Spirit's saying that wish fulfillment is on the horizon here with this Nine of Cups. But Spirit is, and this is not me nagging you or giving you a hard time, my friend. These are just what the cards are saying. I study this study book for 6 months. I will review it soon. So you've already been studying it for 6 months, but you'll review it soon. Okay. Yeah, because Spirit is saying literally in every card here, you're not utilizing all of your skills and all of your resources. The Magician reversed here. The Magician has the swords, the wands, the pentacles, and the cups, and they're saying that you're not using, you're not putting 100%, or at least not the 100% effort that they want to see. It's not that they want to see it. They're just saying that it's necessary that you study extremely hard, and if you do study extremely hard, there will be rewards, and I'm going to get to that in a moment. But I also see that here with the Star reversed and the Page of Wands reversed. Page of Wands reversed is a lack of focus, lack of direction, distractions, and not taking action where action should be taken. The Star reversed is not taking advantage of everything that you radiate. Your brilliant mind. Your mind is a sponge. It will absorb that knowledge. You just have to go through it. And I know you have already. You said you studied it for 6 months, and you will review it soon. If soon is, I don't know what soon is to you, but soon to your spirit guides is like tonight, like, or tomorrow, but like immediate, like almost immediately, because March is soon approaching. It's February 19th. And if you don't feel like you can slay this test without having to study, then that's the key component that's missing there, is studying harder. And I know you didn't feel like, I wasn't saying that you felt like you could pass the test without studying. I know you don't feel that way. But what I'm trying to say is, if you can't say to yourself, I feel knowledgeable enough that I could take this test and feel confident that I could pass it, then sure, you probably don't need to study that much. But if you can't say that to yourself, then you do need to really, really bone up. And I'm seeing this also with this Page of Swords reverse. The Page of Swords is literally known as the student card. You've got to learn, you've got to bone up on some more knowledge. You've got to learn some more. There's more knowledge acquisition that needs to be obtained before you'll be able to pass the test. And this is not to say that you can't pass the test March 7th. It's just, Spirit is just saying that absolutely you can do this. This is something that you can do, but it will require a lot of study, a lot of work, in a very short amount of time. I mean, it is a lot of work, especially when you're working full time. You come home from a hard day of work. Usually, most people are too tapped out to study. So it's about either doing it before work, if that's easier for you, or finding ways that make studying as fluid and easy as possible for you. Hi, Diana. I am. If you would like a reading, I would be more than happy to read for you. Thank you. Yeah, and this Two of Swords reversed. Two of Swords reversed is confusion, lack of clarity, not having the knowledge that's necessary in order to pass the test in this case. But again, Spirit is saying, so long as you really, really hunker down, you will see results. And again, it's going to happen in a short amount of time. 8 of Wands. It's February 19th. The test is March 7th. That's a matter of weeks. That's just a matter of weeks. So even if this is, and it likely will be, very, very hard work, very difficult, or at least, very challenging, I think is a better word, not difficult, challenging. It's only for a matter of a couple of weeks, or a few weeks. I have experience in electronic technician with mathematical formulas. This book is great. It is set up like the actual test. Oh, that's wonderful. That's fantastic. Both those things, that you already have experience as an electronic technician, and that the book is actually set up like the actual test, like it's a practice test basically. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. Yeah, this Six of Swords, Spirit is saying that this will, if you pass, so long as you really make sure that you are completely confident in passing this test before you take the test, this will be moving you on to another position with this Six of Swords, and quickly too. Oh, sorry, I thought this was Three of Wands reversed. Oh, Three of Swords reversed. Oh, even better, Three of Swords reversed. Yeah, you won't be disappointed so long as you put 110% into your studying and application of the test. Again, knowledge acquisition with this King of Swords reversed. Spirit is saying that yes, they acknowledge that, and you acknowledge that you already have studied some of this material. You even have experience with this position, but even with you telling me those things, Spirit is still doubling down and saying yes, but you do need to study a bit more. Sorry, one moment, Maurice. My phone is about to die, and if that happens, we will not be in a good place. Okay. Oh, thank you, Diana. Thank you for the belated birthday wishes, and thank you for the donation. Let me quickly add you here. Okay. Again, yeah, I love this. 10 of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. 10 of Pentacles, the Chariot, 10 of Pentacles. Oh, thank you so much, Maurice. Thank you. Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago. Thank you so much. Yeah, this 10 of Pentacles, in my opinion, this is the strongest card in the entire deck of 78. This card rarely comes out, and it is ultimate contentment, ultimate satisfaction, especially when we're talking about work, Pentacles, work and finances. This job will pay you well. This job will be more interesting for you. It'll and it's fast paced too. I'm trying to, but with this Three of Wands, I do need some clarity here for this Three of Wands. Um, sorry, on my mind. Three of Wands. Why is the Three of Wands here? That don't make no sense. Three of Wands. There we go. New horizons. Okay. Because to me, Three of Wands is almost always an indicator of patience, having patience. But when we see the Chariot, we see the Eight of Wands. I just said this job is a fast-paced one. That would just be more interesting to you. And Three of Wands is a signifier of momentum, expanding your career, your career moving in the right direction, expanding your career goals. The Chariot is the wheels moving on to Six of Swords, the Chariot, moving on to greener pastures. So Spirit is saying that this is entirely in your hands, Maurice. You have a very good shot at passing this test, but not without a lot of studying in between. And again, when I say a lot, I mean like maybe 1 to 2 hours a day. And it's only for a couple of weeks. The test is in just like what, 1 or 2, 3 weeks. So it's not a whole lot of time to study, but it's also not that long to have to be hunkering down and studying so much. But you absolutely have the potential to pass this test, Maurice, very much. And I wish you all the very best. This job will satisfy my creativity side and place me in a middle class statue. Great hours and still give me opportunity to grow in career. That's wonderful, and that's what's up. That's that Nine of Cups. It's like you have a good vision as to this, how you. It's not like this is just an alternative to what you're doing now. You actually enjoy this work. And it would provide you with a lot, like holistically, like you said, not just money, but also it would allow your creative side to flourish as well. So that's wonderful, Maurice. Well, thank you so very, very much, my friend. I don't see, you have every reason in the world to pass this test. Studying can be a pain, I know, but again, it won't be for too long. Much, much love and light to you, my friend. Thank you again. Diana, thank you for your donation, love. You would like a 10-card reading? Aren't they adorable? Thank you. They're hell of like not relevant at all to like the original Rider Waite Smith art, but sometimes they come in clutch. Like sometimes like the art will just be like, oh yeah, like this totally makes sense with this. So I love these. Thank you so much. Yeah, they've stopped. It was an artist on Etsy called Lavender Kitten. I think it was a really cute name, something like that. And then they stopped publishing it. And I think I bought this from someone who published it. Either bought the cards to publish from them. I hope they did. Or just stole the art. I hope they didn't steal the art because that doesn't sit well with me at all. All right, Miss Diana, please go ahead and post your question, love. Thank you. Yeah, it's so funny. And it's always like with specific readings too. Like I'll see, like today, the Hierophant, she's standing outside of a library. And I was talking to my client about how they're acquiring knowledge right now. And I was like, oh, wait, look at this card. Like she's literally at the library. She's getting read to filth. What can I expect with Carson moving forward? I feel like a lot is happening. I'm coming from a curious way because I don't expect anything. However, I just feel his energy. Hmm. How long have you? I'm so sorry, girl. It's been so long since I've read for you. Carson, is that your boyfriend? And you're a fellow Aquarius. And what is Carson's sign? Oh wait, but you don't expect anything. You just feel his energy. Okay, I was just gonna say that tells me that you're not dating. You just feel his energy. Okay, so he's someone you got a crush on. Okay, what can you expect from Carson? How long have you had a crush on him for? And what's his sign? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What can Diana expect from Carson moving forward? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What can Diana expect from Carson moving forward? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What can Diana expect from Carson moving forward? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What can Diana expect from Carson moving forward? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What can Diana expect from Carson moving forward? Ah, he's a Gemini. Yeah, Geminis and Leos are like the two predominant signs I've dated in my life. Oh, you're Capricorn. Okay. Never mind, Aquarius moon. I felt some Aquarius energy. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What can Diana expect from Carson moving forward? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what can Diana expect from Carson moving forward? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what can Diana expect from Carson moving forward? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what can Diana expect from Carson moving forward? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what can Diana expect from Carson moving forward? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what can Diana expect from Carson moving forward? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what can Diana expect from Carson moving forward? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what can Diana expect from Carson moving forward? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what can Diana expect from Carson moving forward? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what can Diana expect from Carson moving forward? Oh, you're all good, girl. No, you're all good. You're not blowing up the chat. You're fine. He has a lot going on, like a lot. And your mom is an Aquarius. Okay. And how long have you known each other for? We have 4 of Cups reversed, 7 of Swords reversed, Ace of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, 10 of Swords reversed, Queen of Cups reversed, King of Pentacles, 7 of Wands reversed, Knight of Pentacles, and 2 of Pentacles reversed. Maybe for a couple of months. Okay, so this is new. Okay. What can you expect moving forward with Carson? Now, I know he's a Gemini, and I know Geminis, Knight of Swords, they move fast. They move really quickly. But that's not to say that every single Gemini is exactly the same. But just from my experience and observations, they tend to move quite quickly. Almost as fast, or if not faster, than a fire sign, even though they're an air sign. This 4 of Cups reversed here is making me feel like he might have gone through something recently. Something romantic that hurt him. Some romantic disappointment that he is moving forward from. I don't think it was too recently. I'd say maybe within the past 6 months, but I think it was like, I think she meant a lot to him, and I think they were dating for a while. And I don't know if he's completely over her with this Queen of Cups reversed underneath, but these both being in their reversed form tells me that he understands that they're not going to get back together. It ended for a reason, for whatever that reason was. He understands that it was a valid reason. It was still painful though. But he is healing with this being in its reverse position. 4 of Cups is having a new understanding of love and romance after taking like a breather from it. Yeah, he just broke up with his girlfriend. I know he cared. Okay, there we go. Yeah. But he does understand. So he broke up with his girlfriend. I feel like it was mutual. I feel like they broke up with each other. I don't think it was like he dumped her, she dumped him. I really do feel like they were together for a little while, and it was just like a mutual decision that like just because 2 people like each other doesn't mean that they should be together. Like I still like him as a friend at the end of the day. That's really interesting that you mentioned that, Diana, because I often ask people that, and I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I was probably going to ask you, like, if 6 months from now there's still no movement, would you wait for him or would you move on? And I think the best way of determining whether you would want to wait or move on is, could you see him being an actual friend? Like, would you actually be cool with being a platonic friend with them? Or is there too much temptation? Or another way I look at it is like, if they weren't physically attractive to me, would I still want to be friends with them? Like, just on a very genuine level, you know? So yeah, so he's a good friend. I hear you. And even when I have been attracted to exes, I maintain friendships with most. There's only one ex who I don't talk to anymore. But I maintain healthy, like, hey, how you doing? Like, I like to keep good rapport with the people I've dated, because we loved each other at one point, and time goes on. But yeah, absolutely. And the older I get, the easier it is for me to figure out those things and set those boundaries. I don't know if that's how it is for you, but in my 20s, I think that'd be very difficult for me. But now that I'm older, it's like seeing people's value and knowing what our boundaries are, I think, are easier to understand. We have the Seven of Swords reversed and the King of Pentacles. Seven of Swords reversed is like truths being revealed, an end to playing games. But he doesn't seem like the type who plays games, or is lying to you about anything. I think he could very well be lying to himself, in terms of his feelings for you, or at least not acting on them. Because I think he's still a little too scared to jump back into the dating pool at this time. I think this is his own, like, him trying to control what he really feels. Because I do see him. I do see that he has feelings for you, love, with this King of Pentacles here, and there's more cards that I see that. But he does really value you, and there absolutely is potential for the two of you to start dating in the future. Of course, it's a possible possibility. It's not an impossibility. I'm not saying it like that. Like, oh well, it's a possibility, so it can happen. I'm saying, like, not only is it a possibility, but there's really good potential that he would ask you to be with him. Ace of Pentacles is definitely. A lot of people think the Ace of Cups is the best way to start a relationship. I think Ace of Pentacles is. You want a castle that's built on solid foundations, not on sand. And developing those foundations takes some time. Not too much time, but you guys have only known each other for what, a couple of months, I think you said, or maybe even a couple of weeks. It was something very, very short amount of time. So there's still more getting to know, of one another. There's still more that you guys need to get to know of each other. There we go. Seven of Wands reversed. I do see him. I know he likes you. Ace of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. I know he likes you, girl. Seven of Swords reversed. Seven of Wands reversed. Seven of Wands reversed. I was so confused about this. I'm like, Ace of Pentacles, but why do we have the Seven of Wands reversed? Seven of Wands reversed. Denial in love. A breakup from external pressures. Internal defensiveness towards love. He's denying himself that happiness out of fear. Fear is the opposite of love. So at this point, he is still denying himself of love, of emotions, of romance. But he is healing from something that happened not too long ago. But if he does ask you to be his girlfriend, which there is a good chance, I see him being really fun. Like, I don't know if you guys hang out a lot, but Geminis are fun. All the Geminis I've dated are just fun people. All the Gemini friends I've had are just like fun people. They're down for a good time. And when you're dating one, they're down to show you a good time, which I understand. I want to give him that space. Exactly. And I get that sense too, that you totally understand that. And he put in the work too, girl. He would put in the work and be a really good guy to you. But the Knight of Pentacles, I have to note, is also the slowest knight out of all of the knights. Sometimes he doesn't even move at all. He'll just stop and observe and analyze. So Knight of Pentacles takes his time. And that's the energy I'm getting from him and from you too. I feel like you want to give him his space, and there's possibly a part of you that, well, I'm sure there's a part of you that wants to get to know him better. That's the whole point. You want to know more of who he is, and girl, I think starting to see that pattern. He does have a Cancer moon. Oh, okay. Um, Sorry, I just got distracted. I just got a work text. Yeah, that would check out. He's a sensitive Gus. He's a sensitive guy, and he's currently in his shell. He's retreated. He's retracted into his Cancer moon shell. Yeah, and Spirit's acknowledging here there is a very high chance that once he feels brave and healed again, that this will commence, but that you guys will be boyfriend and girlfriend. But it is conditional that he is over, that he fully processes this ending, which he's already halfway there. Ten of Swords is reversed. Queen of Cups is reversed. Four of Cups is reversed. All these breakup cards are reversed. So that's telling me that he's not stuck in the feels. He's not, and that's exact. Four of Cups. If this was upright, I'd be like, he's a depressed guy, huh? He's like stuck in his feelings. Because Four of Cups upright, plain and simple, is just like feeling the feels, feeling sad, feeling like you missed out or lost out on something. But he's not stuck in that. He's moving forward. He's processing things. And in processing things, he has put a stop sign in front of engaging in romance at this time. But it's just at this time, with this Two of Pentacles reversed. At this time, he doesn't. As you mentioned, he has a lot going on. Beyond the breakup that he went through. He also has many other things going on. So at this time, he wouldn't be able to balance you into his life as a romantic partner. But that's just at this time, because he hasn't fully processed everything. Very close though, and very very self-aware, very emotionally mature guy. Like I feel like he's come to a lot of really sharp and insightful conclusions from the pain that he went through, which is the best thing and kind of the only good thing we can do with breakups is learn from them and just grow from them. Even when things aren't successful, it's like, well, I took that chance, it didn't work, but maybe the next one, which I think is very healthy of him. Like, I think he should put himself and his needs first, right? I am 100% with you, Diana. Totally. I see so many people go through breakups, and in their mind, and girl, when I was really young, in my mind, I used to think this was the case too. I'd go through a breakup, or I'd get dumped, my heart would be broken, and I'd jump right back into trying to find a new guy. Well, why do you think I was doing that? My intention was not, well, yeah, it was to find love again, but it was to replace that person, and not replace the person, but it was an attempt to, like, avoid the pain. like, oh, if I find a new guy, then I won't feel this anymore. And it just never worked. Going into love with the wrong intentions is not right. Going into love without being, at least you don't have to be a fully healed person, but um, not carrying baggage from past relationships into a new one. Um, yeah, I see a really emotionally smart man here, who has a lot to give, a lot to give, um, when he has the ability to give it. Um, exactly, exactly. Sitting with pain is not easy. It's very difficult. Um, and I mean, not to say that it. I was going to say it's even more difficult, I think, when one is younger, but I take that back. Sitting with pain is always difficult. We just try to find ways of mitigating it in different ways, but I've learned that just sitting with it is honestly usually the best. Or not sitting with it, but working through it um, mindfully is really the only way to get through it. Um, and yeah, making sure that you don't bring any of that baggage to the next episode, which I think he's keenly aware of not wanting to do. So I like this spread. I like this spread, Diana. I think I know there's a lot of potential here. I see it. I see that he likes you. He's attracted to you for sure, and he sees potential as well. Um, he just has his boundaries right now. But those, like I said, those breakup cards being in the reverse position, that's a good sign. If they were upright, I'd be a little more concerned about timing. Like I'll be honest. If those cards were upright, I'd say I would still say there's great potential for you guys to date, but it may not happen for like another year. Whereas with this, I'm thinking like 3 months tops, 6 at the longest, but that's really stretching it. And it could happen sooner than 3 months. Like, especially if Tarot's picking these energies up right now too. Um, from him, that's pretty strong. Um, so I like this. I like this for you, Diana. Um, and it sounds like you've also set boundaries for yourself as well in terms of him, like how long you'd be willing to wait for him, and assessing like, well, when I stop waiting, would I still want to be friends with him? And the answer is yes. I think you do want to be friends with him if love wasn't the case. But I do think that romance is very much possible here. You are so welcome. I love bringing people peace. That's one of the best things to bring to someone. Yes, just continue tending to your inner garden. Absolutely. That's what he's doing right now. And you guys are friends. You guys clearly have a lot of mirrored energies. Um, yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. A lot of potential here. Well, thank you very, very much, Diana. I really appreciate you, love. And, well, happy belated birthday to you, too, Miss Capricorn. I'm like, at first I thought you were an Aquarius, but no, you're a Capricorn, so happy belated birthday to you, too, love. I hope it was a good one. All right, so you too. You have a wonderful rest of your night, dear. Thank you. All right, so we are all caught up with donations, which means it is that time of night where we do a last call for any and all donations tonight. If you have a question for me that you would like me to answer for you, I would love to do so. Last call tonight for any and all donations. Thank you very much. Last call for any and all donations. Thank you very much. Last call tonight for all donations. Thank you. Last call tonight for all donations. Thank you very much. Last call, everybody. Last call for all donations tonight. Thank you. All right, it looks like everyone is happy and taken care of. Thank you all so very much, and I likely will not be on tomorrow. I likely will not be on Saturday, but I will do my best to come on Sunday. Someone just popped in. Amangond? Amangond? Welcome, Amangond. Are you interested in a reading? Is that why you're on the channel right now? So I was just about to close up, but if you are wanting a reading, I am more than happy to read for you. Just let me know. You're from India. Wow, that's really cool. It's very far from where I am. All right, so it looks like we are all caught up with donations tonight. Thank you so much. Much love and light to you, and I will see y'all likely on Sunday. Thank you so much.